What's up, it's Timothy here. Since I'm doing my top 10 list of favorite horror films of each year, here's my top 10 favorite horror movies of 2017. Because there were some pretty good horror films that I think of like all 2020s. I think 2017 was a better year for horror in my opinion. But anyway, here is my official top 10. Number 10 is a little horror film I don't think hardly no one really heard of. It's a movie titled Tragedy Girls. If you guys don't know much about the story for this, it is about these two famed obsessed high school girls who are running a true crime blog, capturing a serial killer to boost their followers. But when their body count rises, they spiral into like bloody quests here. The movie is a lot of fun. Of course, the two leads is portrayed by Brianna Hildebrand, who you might know as Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Deadpool, and it also stars Alexandra Shipp, who portrayed Storm in the in the recent X Men reboot films. You also do got Jack Quaid, Kevin Durant, Craig Robinson has probably one of my favorite death scenes in this. The movie is a lot of fun, really great, crazy kills. It is entertaining. Probably one of the craziest prom scene in a horror movie since Carrie, in my opinion. But yeah, Tragic Girls is a really good one. All right, number 9 is a horror Christmas film. Better Watch Out. Of course, this is where teenage babysitter Ashley, played by Olivia DeJonge, defends her young the young kid she's babysitting for from the home invaders, and a little not gonna do any spoiler here, but it is a crazy twist that you would not even see coming. I mean, Better Watch Out is one of the better horror comedies in my opinion. Definitely, is really interesting. Crazy twist there. I had a fun time watching this in theaters back in 2017, because when the trailer was released, it did a good job at not spoiling anything. I if you guys really want to see like the crazy twist, I recommend just watch this thing blind. Because it is a really messed up twist, but it is a really fun one to say at least. So well worth watching there. All right. Coming in at number 8 is Cult of Chucky. Of course, this is the latest Chucky one that the second one should go straight to DVD though. Where of course you got Nika Pierce, played by Fiona Dorr, who is now in a mental institution for crimes she believe were committed by Chucky. And of course, like there are crazy kills throughout here. Obviously this thing would go on to pretty much set up the Chucky TV show we would eventually get. But yeah, Cult of Chucky is a really good one. Really crazy kills like Fiona Dorff is great. This I love some of the other cast of characters. Seeing like multiple Chuckies was something I never knew we really needed. It's a really entertaining Chucky one. Fingers crossed we get to the return of Chucky. But all right, number 7 is The Babysitter. Now this is of course the horror comedy that premiered on Netflix back in 2017, directed by former Charlie's Angels director Mick G, starring Samara Weaving, the one that really put her on the map, I believe. Judah Lewis, Bella Dawn, Robbie Amell, King Bach himself, Andrew Bachelor. It's about this, this kid who discovers like his cool babysitter is leading a satanic cult ritual, and the kills is also pretty cool. Samara Weaving, come on, she looked great in this. It is really crazy. It is entertaining throughout. I mean, it's a really cool one there. All right, number 6 is Annabelle Creation. Now, of course, this is the follow-up to 2014's not-so-good Annabelle, directed by David F. Sandberg, who recently gave us Until Dawn. This time around, you got a dollmaker and his grieving wife invite a nun and these orphan girls into their remote home years after their daughter's death, and of course, unleashing a like demonic force possessed by their creation Annabelle. That first Annabelle movie was not so good. This one, I think, is the best out of the Annabelle films. It's definitely has better performances here. Lulu Wilson, of course, who was in the movie Becky, was great. It was really creepy throughout. Anthony LaPlaga is really good in this. Miranda Otto, Talia Bateman is also good in this. It's a really interesting one there. All right, number 5 is Split. Now, of course, this is the M Night Shyamalan directed movie, where these three teen girls are kidnapped by a man with distant personalities, and of course, you got James McAvoy, one of his best performances, in my opinion. Anna Taylor Joy, I guess you could say this is one of the ones that really put her on the map for most people. Well, it was really The Wish that was her breakout, but this is actually the one that really made a lot of people really become a fan for her more. But yeah, Split is great. Crazy twist towards the end with obviously with Bruce Willis coming in, and it turns out that was a sequel to Unbreakable, which I still remember like being in the theater, and when that twist came on, I was so glad I was not on the internet. Well, I was on the internet, but I'm so glad I was not spoiled that week because that was a really interesting twist there. But yeah, and Glass actually wasn't so bad too, by the way. I mean, I know people were overwhelmed by or underwhelmed by Glass, but I thought Glass was okay. Split was really good though. I mean, I thought it was a really decent one. All right, number 4 is Happy Death Day. Now, the second one really felt more like a sci-fi than straight up horror, but the first one was really like a Groundhog Day meets Scream. With this college girl named Tree, played by Jessica Roth, wakes up on her birthday only to be murdered repeatedly, trapped in her time loop here. And Happy Death Day is a really good one, directed by Christopher Landon. Jessica Roth is great. It is PG-13, which sometimes that could turn you off a little bit, but the kills actually wasn't really so bad. Like, obviously they weren't graphic, but they were like bad for a PG-13 one. But it's still really hilarious. It is entertaining. I had a fun time with this one throughout too. All right. Coming in at number 3 is the Belko Experiment. Now, this is of course written by James Gunn, who obviously is of course the head of DC Studios right now. And of course, this movie is like, let's say, Office Space meets Battle Royale. You also do got a couple of James Gunn collaborators like Michael Rooker, David DeMaclin. You even got John C. McClane is in this. Sean Gunn is also in this one. If you guys don't know much about the story for this, it's about 8 American employees at a Bogota-based corporation are sealed inside their high-rise office and are forced by a mysterious voice to kill each other in a deadly corporate survival game, revealing the dark side of the human nature here, and of course, obviously, one has to survive here. And yeah, the Belko Experiment is a lot of fun. It's entertaining, crazy kills throughout, interesting cast of characters. One of the ones that really introduced me to Joy Ojona, who will go on to star in Andor. I mean, it's a really fun one, to say the least. Crazy mess up stuff that happens in this. It's a really cool one. Tony Goldwyn is also great in this. All right, number 2 is It. Now, of course, It, directed by Andy Muschietti, is of course about a group of 7 outcast children known as the Losers Club, who manage to confront and defeat the shape-shifting entity, who, of course, is Pennywise, played by Bill Skarsgård. It is a really good one. I mean, I thought the cast of characters was great. Bill Skarsgård embodied Pennywise perfectly. It's a really decent adaptation. And obviously, we'll go on to get it Chapter 2 2 years after. And the best horror film that year is the one that actually won an Oscar and got tons of Oscars, actually. Number 1 is Get Out. Get Out is excellent. The directorial debut by Jordan Peele, starring Daniel Kaluuya, Allison Williams, Catherine Keener, Bradley Whitford, Lil Rel Howery. Of course, about a young black man who visits his white girlfriend's family estate, where like overly accommodating behavior hides like a sinister secret here. And Bradley Whitford is awesome in this one. Gets pretty messed up throughout. Jordan Peele, who obviously we always know as a comedic guy, seeing him get into like the horror sphere, I thought was great. I mean, Get Out is just an amazing one. Again, Jordan Peele actually won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Well deserved there. It got tons of Oscar considerations. It is a really good one, and it's well worth a watch there. But that's pretty much it. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Tragedy Girls. 9, Better Watch Out. 8, Coat of Chucky. 7, The Babysitter. 6, Annabelle Creation. 5, Split. 4, Happy Death Day. 3, The Belko Experiment. 2, Stephen King's It from 2017. And number 1 is Get Out. Now, there's a few other ones I probably could have added too. A couple of honorable mentions. Jigsaw. It Comes at Night. Definitely not Life. That was not so good. Uh, Leatherface, the Leatherface prequel. Little Evil is a pretty good one. Rings was okay. Alien Covenant wasn't so bad. The Bye Bye Man, definitely not. Definitely not 47 Meters Down. Definitely not Keep Watching. Revenge really felt more like an action than straight up horror. Definitely not Jeepers Creepers 3. That is probably the worst horror film of that year. But let me let you guys. What some of your favorite horror movies of 2017? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy Simon.